did your wife say? I wonder.
she didn't have any answer, of course. The person accosted my wife at a function and said, "Whose wife is Uncle Bo looking for?"
Good morning, anyway.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
I am blessed. That was your weekend.
Well, good and busy, but great and wonderful.
As always.
Yes, as always. Especially around this time when we are working on a production.
Exactly.
It is all fun. And hard work, but fun. You know, when you're doing what you enjoy doing, it doesn't feel like work.
Exactly, which is what's happened to me over the weekend, I should say. Let me first of all say congratulations to Zach and Marilyn Bintum. They are very good friends of mine who got married on Saturday, and I was with them during the wedding ceremony. But I also got the chance to speak at the Victory Bible Church Love Sanctuary. Yes, at the teen service. You know me, I really like young people and hanging out with them, and it was so amazing. The insights.
In these days, when you're saying things like that, you've got to be careful. I really like young people.
I also said I like hanging out with them. So maybe that's adds something.
No, I'm just telling you what you are walking into.
I understand.
Social media.
You see,
Daniel Dazi likes young people.
The bloggers listening, please, I beg.
Yes, in Kumasi we used to call that Awenga. You wouldn't want that title on you.
But it was great. I want to say a good morning to all of the leaders there, especially Theophilus Korte, who is also celebrating his birthday today.
Oh, okay.
Yes, right. Theophilus, good morning. Julius Benjamin, to all of the guys there. I mean, it was such a blessing, and I was so privileged to join them. Well, you want to leave it for now?
No, I was going to say something, but
it's okay.
Something you said left a big door open for me to
close it.
To move in. But well, if you say I should close it out,
let's move to today's message.
I didn't know you was an afraid boy. Good morning to you, Mrs. Agnes Awuku. Age is celebrating her birthday today. She's one of the special people, young ladies that she and her husband are very special to me and to my team. She's the wife of Samuel Awuku, as against, not to be confused with Sami Awuku.
I was just about to ask that.
No, not to be confused with Sami Awuku.
Okay.
This is Samuel Awuku, one of the Ghana's leading computer technicians and engineers in Ghana, and his wife, Age, a businesswoman of no mean repute. So Age, happy birthday.
But you have to thank our friends from MTN 4G Plus. They help us bring the birthday dedications on the show. So for the fastest connectivity and highest internet speed, choose MTN TurboNet. They send those birthday text messages. Very
all right.
The WhatsApp messages.
And they do well. One of the times, last quarter when we were having our production, one of the members of cast was celebrating her birthday, and they sent her a cake.
Nice.
And she brought the cake to rehearsals, and everybody had a piece of it. So I can testify to what they're doing there.
They are very birthday people.
MTN, we're done pushing this. Remember his birthday, please.
If I'm in town. Let me grasp them that this year I wasn't in town.
Okay. All right. Okay. Right. My next play, I Want Your Wife, on the 6th and 7th of July. The early bird tickets, where you buy the 80 Ghana Cedi ticket for 60 Ghana Cedis, are available here at Joy FM. But you can also go to Bachotna Total, Tema, Committee 11 Shell, Quick and Fine, Medina and Adenta, Airport Shell, Frankie's Osu, Say Cheers, Accra, and 37 Goyle and Accra Mall. Then, organizing events in Ghana is a nightmare. It is a wonder that any event gets done in Ghana. The headaches of the event organizer are many, and they come from all kinds of unexpected sources. And the risk of getting your event derailed are many, and most of them beyond your control. When people buy tickets to a show, they earn the right to expect a show that will be more than worth their money and their time. They expect a show that starts on time. They expect a show that runs smoothly. They expect a show that is safe for them and that is fun. In other words, they expect an event that delivers on its promise. These are basics, and everyone who buys a ticket to a show has earned the right to expect them. And these are non-negotiable from the point of view of the patron. On the other side of the bargain, however, stands the event organizer. Every event organizer dreams of executing programs and events that raise the equity of his brand. Every event organizer knows that it is in his own interest to deliver on his promises to patrons and to other stakeholders. But then, organizing events in Ghana is a high-stakes game. The risks are very high, but the rewards are not very exciting. All people see are the numbers in the hall or at the venue. They do not see the most important numbers, which are the number of hours spent preparing for the event and the amount of money spent to execute the event. I know event organizers who have had to run away from the venue because they did not have money to pay the service providers they had used to execute their event after the event. With sponsorships dwindling, a lot of events are not making money for the organizers at all. But that is just one of the headaches of the event organizer. No event organizer performs himself. An event organizer brings together performers and an assortment of service providers and technicians to provide things like sound, light, decor, and what have you. And any of these people can disappoint you, and yet the patrons do not know any of them. They know you, the event organizer. So, the patrons have a social contract with you, the event organizer. But you, the event organizer, depends heavily on others to deliver on that contract. And if any of them fails, your brand is tarnished, often in ways you cannot redeem. Then I know of an event organizer who took an artist from Ghana to the UK. He spent a lot of money hyping the event and even more money flying the artist and his band to the UK and paying the appearance fees up front. The artist arrived in the UK with his entourage and they were booked into a 5-star hotel. The artist and his band rehearsed at the venue the day before the event, and they had sound check in the morning of the event, and they returned to their hotels to prepare for the evening's show. The event organizer was in high spirits because the tickets had sold out. Then came the time for the show. The event organizer went to the hotel to pick the artist himself in a limousine. His band, the artist's band, was already at the venue doing another diaphana sound check. At the hotel, the reception called the artist's room and there was no response. The hotel sent someone with the event organizer to the room. The door was locked. They used a master key and opened the door. And then, you will not believe it, there was the artist on the floor. He had passed out from cocaine overdose. Wow. They tried to wake him up every way they could, but the artist was too high to even stand on his feet. The event that had taken over 6 months to put together, the event that had taken tens of thousands of pounds to put together, the event that had sold out, suddenly had become the worst nightmare of the event organizer because his artist was too messed up from cocaine to even stand on his feet. The event organizer was compelled to declare bankruptcy and has not yet found his feet. The point I'm making is that an event organizer can do everything right, and yet his event can get messed up by something totally unexpected. Of course, when that thing happens, everyone has an opinion as to how it could have been prevented. But the point is that that thing should simply not have happened. An event organizer took an artist to Kumasi for a Valentine bash. He had spent a fortune putting the event together, but he was feeling very positive because the media had hyped the event had the show, and the public had responded well. And the show was sold out by the day of the show. By the morning of the show, there was no ticket available. The venue was packed to overflowing, and the supporting artists were doing their best keeping the patrons entertained, but they were not what the patrons had come for. Everyone was waiting for the main act. That artist got to the venue at the appointed time, and the MC was about to go on stage to announce him when he said he wanted to renegotiate his fees. He said he had not been given the impression that the show was that big, and so what he had charged previously was too low. The event organizer was aghast. How can you ask for a review of a rate you have agreed to? As he tried to reason with the artist flared up and said, "You're a cheat, and I won't allow you to cheat me. Take your show." And he jumped into his car and drove off. When word leaked to the patrons that the artist had boycotted the show, the patrons went berserk and trashed the venue. And that was the end of this particular event organizer's business. You see, an event organizer can do everything right, and yet he can be messed up through no fault of his. But when that happens, the condemnation goes against the event organizer. And trust me, Ghanaians can be very bitter in their criticisms and condemnation. But you see, solutions on hindsight are very easy. I know Charterhouse, and I know that this is a very serious event organizer. I have absolute respect and admiration for everyone in the Charterhouse team. They have the experience and they have the expertise for events. The people who work there are of the highest caliber in events and entertainment in Ghana, and they have done their best to transform events and the creative sector completely. And then at their 20th edition of the Ghana Music Awards, VJMA, someone did the unexpected, and another person reacted badly to it. And of course, the criticisms are coming from all angles. I am an event organizer myself, and I tell you that no event organizer can cover all possible angles. The 20th edition of VJMA, once it started, was going well until this unfortunate incident. And now, nobody is talking about the hard work that has been put in over 20 years by Charterhouse to keep this flagship awards event going. My heart goes out to Charterhouse, but I know them. I know they will learn the necessary lessons and bounce back very strong. But whilst they deal with this, I want every Ghanaian to understand that organizing events in Ghana is indeed a nightmare. Charterhouse, I am booking my ticket to the 21st edition of VJMA. And please don't send me a complimentary ticket. I insist on buying it. Let's let the 21st edition happen. Bigger, better, and more fun. And that's my presentation.
Thank you very, very, very much, Uncle Ebo. And a lot of times we tend to overlook the hard work that some of these
people you have no idea. You have no. I know these guys. I know event organizers spend days and nights. Sometimes they sleep at the venue just preparing the place for this thing. Once one of the times when we did a production outside National Theatre, my people had worked through the night setting up, and they stayed on in the morning. About an hour to the show, the guy who had the key to the power source put off the power and left.
Why? Why would he do that?
I don't know. We searched for him everywhere. He was gone.
Anyway, that sometimes the only solution is prayer.
No, sometimes. Let me tell you an interesting one. The first time I took a play to Kumasi, I decided that instead of taking a band from here, I'll go to Kumasi and raise a band there. So I got our friends in Love FM to link me with the best band in Kumasi, and they did. So I went to Kumasi 2 days ahead to rehearse with the band at the venue. We went through all the songs, and indeed, they were a fantastic band. they cut everything just like that. We agreed on the time. We're starting, first show is starting at 5. And then, they said, I'm 3 o'clock near 3 o'clock.
What time did they get there?
The first person got in at 7:45.
My goodness.
When we had about 15 minutes left for the second show to end.
Uncle, some of these stories, anyway.
And when I asked him, Master, and he was the only one who turned up. He was the organist. I asked him, Master, why? I said, Master, a year be.
I will make no comments. It's 2 minutes past 8. If I commit myself to this, I'll get in trouble. Thank you very much, Uncle Bo, for food for thoughts this morning. Always very, very